Let's now try and understand single, or default methods in LINQ to see what the difference is. So let's have a look at this example. We have a list of people within here based on the person class. So you can see the person class just has an ID and a name. So here we are adding in a person with ID 1, James, and a person with ID 2, Stephen, and a person with ID 3, which is James again. The reason for duplicates here for James is very important to understand the difference between single LINQ method and single or default. Now, you may have come across in my previous explanations first or default. So here first or default. So as you can see here, first and first or default are used to check the first match in the list. Default, of course, is to deal with null if you do not find a match. But the difference between single and the first method is single will return the only match. So it must be exactly one, the only match. That's what we are looking for. Or null if none is found. So if you get multiple matches using the single or default, then we want the code to error and we want to know there's something wrong. For example, a person with the same ID shouldn't exist, so that's an error. While with the first or default, this is allowed. We don't care about duplicates as long as one is returned. So if we have a look at the code here, you can see James exists twice in here. Now, if we get exactly one match, which is based on the ID number here, ID number 2, then we are fine. There's no issue with that. But if we get multiple matches here for James, because he appears twice here, one with the ID 1 and the other with ID 3, and we have a problem. So it matches ID 1 and 3. So we want this code to error and it will be caught by this exception because the single method's purpose is to only return one record. If multiple records are found, then we want it to error. And the default, of course, is if no returns match, so 99 ID doesn't exist, and we just want it to return null, and that's not an error. While with the single method, if a no match is found, for example here, if we had 99 here, then we wanted to trigger the catch clause, while with the default method, what it will do is it will actually execute this line and it won't go into the error state. So that's the difference between single or default versus single. But remember, it must match exactly one. Otherwise, in both instances, whether single or single default, the error catch would be triggered here. If you do have multiple matches in your data and you don't care about duplicates, then you should use first or default. So let's run this code. So as you can see here, Stephen is returned because he's the only one. But when we get two Jameses here, then we get an error. So this is an exception as co-host. But if it is null, notice it's not an error because we are using single or default here. So just remember, if you have duplicates in your data, then use first or default. It will just return first record. But if you have duplicates and you want to make sure those duplicates cause errors, then use this single or default.